Hello everyone and welcome to the key moments of Lionel Messi's interview which he gave today clarifying his decision of joining InterMiami over FC Barcelona and Al Hilal. Today, Leo Messi attended a joint interview in Paris with Mundo Deportivo and Sport in which he revealed about how he has lived in Paris, about his departure in 2021 from Barcelona and explains the reasons for not returning to Barcelona and many more. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. First of all, Leo was asked about now that the season is over and he's leaving Paris, but the numbers have not been bad. With what feelings does his journey at the PSG end? And Leo replied to that question as with mixed feelings. The truth is that the first year was very difficult, as I have already said on occasion, for different reasons. The second year, the first 6 months, I felt very good, very comfortable in the club, in the city with my family. In the middle was the World Cup, and I think that the World Cup marked all the teams a bit in general. It marked the season a bit. With such an important competition in the middle for the first time, I think it conditioned the season a lot. I expected to end differently, but hey, it was 2 years, which in general were difficult for me, but they are behind me. Then interviewers asked him if he watches and misses Barcelona, and Messi replied to that as, yes, obviously yes, I missed. I was just saying, the truth is that the first year at PSG for me was very difficult. After leaving, how it went and everything. Obviously that I followed them and I watched the games and always longed for the memories and being able to be there. And then Leo was asked if he was happy like another cool when Barcelona won the league. To which Leo replied, yes, obviously yes. I followed them all year and I wanted Barca to win like all Barcelona fans. And the first year too. I talk a lot with Xavi about some games after the game, about situations. The truth is that we talked a lot since he was a coach. And I followed them, obviously. And then the main question of the interview, which everyone was waiting for, arrived. Interviewers asked Leo regarding the possibility of returning and if he had already made a decision. And reply to this from Leo was long one, and he said that yes, the truth is I obviously really wanted to, very excited to be able to return. But on the other hand, after having experienced what I experienced and the exit I had, I did not want to be in the same situation again. Wait to see what would happen and leave my future in someone else's hand. So to speak, I wanted to make my own decision, thinking about myself, about my family. Although I heard that it was said that La Liga had accepted everything and that everything was fine for me to return, there were still many other things that had to be done. I heard that Barcelona had to sell players or lower players' salaries, and the truth is that I didn't want to go through that or take charge of obtaining something that had to do with all that. I have already been accused of many things that were not true in my career at Barcelona, and I was already a bit tired. I didn't want to go through all that. And well, the time I had to leave, La Liga had also accepted that they signed me up, and in the end, it couldn't be done. Well, I was afraid that the same thing would happen again, and I had to go through the bullfight as it happened. That I had to come here to Paris to stay in a hotel for a long time with my family, with my children going to school, and still being in the hotel. I wanted to make my own decision, and that's why it was a bit that I didn't turn to Barca. Although I would have loved it, it couldn't. I'm also in a moment where I want to get out of focus a bit, think more about my family. As I was just saying, I spent 2 years at a family level that was so bad that I didn't enjoy it. I had the month that was spectacular for me for having won the World Cup, but removing that was a difficult stage for me. Then Leo was asked about the statements that the Barcelona made regarding his return, that from the club they have said that it depended on you almost 99%, and Xavi said that you had the upper hand, but something was missing from that offer. How did you leave it? And Leo replied to that as, I listened to a bit of everything that was said, what was coming out, what Xavi said, but it was a bit of what he was saying recently. La Liga had given the okay, but it is not real that the decision is mine, because many things are missing, and it's a long summer, in which I do not want to go through what I already went through again. I prefer to make the decision earlier to end this and be calm and think about the holidays and my future, already planning what I know is going to be possible. And then Leo was asked if he felt pressured by the information coming from Barcelona. And Leo's response was that no, because so many things came out. I don't know where they came from, but there were a lot of leaks and news. There were even journalists who put me everywhere. They confirmed it to me in Arabia. In Barcelona, they took it for granted, and the next day, they changed their version. There was a lot of that going on. So I was trying to think about what I knew and felt and deal with that, not what was being said. Then Leo was asked about President Laporta, about Xavi. Did they contact him? Was there dialogue throughout this process? And Leo replied that actually with President Laporta, I spoke very little, once or twice at most. I do have a lot of communication with Xavi since he arrived at the club, much more and very often. We also talked about the possibility of me coming back. We were very excited because when something came out, we would discuss if he really wanted him to come back, if it was good for the team and for him, and we kept in communication. And then Leo was asked, during all this time, your name has been chanted at the Camp Nou, in concerts. How have you experienced it? To which he replied, for me, it was beautiful, and I enjoyed it, because the truth is that since I left in a strange way. I would have liked to say goodbye, as was done now to Busi, Jordi, or as happened to Xavi and Iniesta at the time. I would have liked to live that way, to have been able to say goodbye to the people, even though it was the time for pandemic and there couldn't be people in the stadium. I would have liked to know that I was playing with people, to know that I was enjoying it. That is why I was very happy when I heard my name at the Camp Nou or in Barcelona. Beyond the fact that I loved is always there and is mutual. It was a strange feeling to hear my name at the Camp Nou and not be there. Then Leo was asked if he will like to return to Barca one day, as technical secretary, player, ambassador or any other way. To which Leo replied, yes, obviously I would like to be close to the club. What's more, I am going to live in Barcelona. It is one of the things that we have very clear with my wife, my children. Hopefully, I don't know when, but hopefully one day I can contribute something to the club and help, because it is a club that I love, as I always said. I appreciate the love I had from people during my career and I would like to be here again. Yes. And at the end, he was asked, after knowing that he will not return to Barcelona, where are his steps headed? To Saudi Arabia? What has been said to? To Miami? To other place? And Leo replied to that, I made the decision that I am going to go to Miami. I still haven't closed it 100%. I'm missing some things, but we have decided to continue the path. And yeah, that's all from the interview which was held by Leo today. In the comment section, tell me how you guys feel about Leo joining InterMiami and not Barcelona. And that's it for the video, guys. Stay tuned to the channel because Champions League final is coming and I have got some content for that. So goodbye until we meet again.